fiction, science fiction, horror, fantasy, crime, LGBT, thriller.
You have now entered the House of Mystery.
Welcome back into the House of Mystery. I'm Al Warren. Got Mr. Michael Hawley here.
That's correct, Al.
Yeah, you can't get out of your chair, I know, after all that turkey.
Oh, yeah, it was, we pounded. I pounded a lot of stuffing. I'm stuffed with stuffing, but now I have 3 years to try to get rid of it. New Year's resolution coming up. You know, I had to find something to do for a New Year's resolution. So now I found it.
That was last year's New Year's resolution. What are you talking about?
It's a pattern. It's a pattern, you know.
My God, it just keeps on going and going and going, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, let's see. So today we've got a writer with us, and we're going to talk about her newest book. And it's the 10th book in the series. So everyone, I know you're waiting for it. So, Secrets Lie in Wait. It's an Emmeline Kirby and Gregory Longdon mystery. And the author's with us, Daniella Bernett. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I always enjoy coming here. We always have such wide-ranging chats, so I'm looking forward to today's discussion.
I'm speaking with you again, Daniella.
Nice to meet you again, too, Michael.
Yeah, it should be about the same here. We're going to have a wide-ranging sort of... What do you do for Thanksgiving, Daniella? Do you have any wild parties or histories, or what are you doing on?
No, we just have it's just my mother, my sister, and me, very small family. It's just the three of us. We get together because my father passed away in 2020. So that's it. We don't have a large extended family.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice, too. Sometimes that's probably better, actually,
than
having too many people, like... gets crazy. And you go to Michael's place, it's insane, right? It's probably.
We had about 36 people.
Oh, my goodness.
and that's no kidding. Not my kids. Oh, I only have 6. I do have 6.
My goodness.
But I stopped at 4. I don't know what happened. They look like the mailman, those 2 young ones, but don't tell me what that means.
It's our secret. It's our secret here. You know, you're among friends here.
Yeah,
that's right. Secrets lie in wait, right there.
Yep.
That's it. So that's quite a title you got there. Is there a reason for that title? That can say a lot in a few words.
Yes, it does, because it harkens back to something that happened in World War II that has an impact on the events that are happening in the book today, which is murder and kidnapping. So everything is interconnected, and the secret is just simmering there in the background, ready to pop out to cause mayhem, as secrets always do.
I was going to say, something that happened back in World War II, you can always do research by just calling Michael. He was around then. He was in college.
Okay. Good to know. I'll write
just
you down
a couple months old.
I'll write you down in my contact list then.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah. He was around. He knows everything. He was there. Well, listen. So that's interesting. So now, of course, this is book 10, as you were saying, and we've got your main characters in the mystery. What drives each book when you do it? Is it a totally new mystery, a new story, like Secrets Lie in Wait? Is that kind of the idea? Or is there something between Kirby and Longdon that you're trying to move along first? Like, is there a direction?
Well, it's true. I mean, all stories, a character is the center of all stories. That's the driver of a story. But each of my books can stand alone. If you pick up this one and you haven't read the other ones, you'll be fine, because I put enough backstory there. But of course, you want to see how the characters evolved to this stage, and how in their different ways. Because just to refresh your audience's memory in case they're unfamiliar with me, Emmeline is a journalist. She's the editorial director of investigative features at the Clarion newspaper in London. And her husband is Gregory Longdon. He's a jewel thief, former in quotes, but an insurance investigator as well. So they're married now. They're a married couple, and they have a baby on the way in this book, but they each are thrown into danger as usual, which propels the story forward.
So, is it when you've got these two main characters, whose point of view are you, or is the reader getting when they read the story?
Both, because they're equally important, because they help to solve the crime from different perspectives. His from the thief perspective, and she from the core fabric of her being is finding truth and justice. Well, they both are after the truth and justice, so they approach that hunt for answers from the different perspectives, and that's how you get the unique pairing, the sleuthing involved to get to make sure that the culprit is caught.
Are they like pairing up to do it, or do they have two separate stories going on to connect to it?
It's a little bit of both, because I like in each book to have a lot of different threads, and it spins the web of intrigue, and then I slowly pull each one, but they are all interconnected. So the resolution in the end has the two disparate, well, they're actually not disparate, the two unique threads that come together, and then the crime is, you pull out the knot and the crime is solved. So in this book, it's about diamonds, like the Russian mafia and a diamond smuggling operation in Amsterdam. But there's also the question of the Golden Tulip, which is an important piece in this book, which is a yellow diamond that was stolen back in World War II and comes up, that gets involved with these Russians and an underworld figure in the Dutch underworld, and that's how they get connected, because everybody is after the Golden Tulip, and the diamond smuggling operation is linked to that in a way.
Well, with these characters, the two main ones, do you keep secrets? Do they keep secrets from each other as well?
Well, Gregory does, as the jewel thief. He's still a lot of, as the books have gone on, some of his secrets have come out, but a lot of his past is still murky. And Emmeline is frustrated. She knows he loves her, but she's frustrated because he still feels the need to keep secrets. He says it's to protect her, but she doesn't like being wrapped up in cotton wool. She's very assertive and strong, and she can stand on her own 2 feet, and in a way she feels left out. She hates being left in the dark. Because why does he still need to keep secrets? But that also helps. His secrets, his dark past, helps me with each book, because another little thing comes out, another link to a mystery or the crime that's involved. So that helps me. His murky past helps me to propel the different books, the next book, the little nugget for a new story.
Her being a journalist, that's pushing it.
Well,
that's
yes.
why she wants to know.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, that's a good, well, that's why, when I started the series, I knew I wanted to do a series, and I wanted amateur sleuths because they have more flexibility than police. The police are restricted by the law and certain rules and protocols, while Emmeline, as a journalist, she's like a detective in a way, because she's always she's always asking questions. She's tries to find the truth. Gregory, from his perspective as a jewel thief, knows the criminal mind, and he can get to the answer, try and find answers from the underground.
Yeah, from Mike's part of town.
Yeah.
But I can't tell you about that. It's that's a secret line.
See, that's a secret. That's our secret here. Nobody else will know.
Boy,
that's right.
You have to have an unedited secret show, nothing but
reveal,
yeah, the great reveal. Now, but I was wondering also, do you keep it from the reader, or does the reader know some of Gregory's past, whereas Emmeline doesn't? Do you know what I mean? Is there that kind of suspense where the reader knows, oh my God, he did this?
It's a little bit of both, because I leave a little bit in each book. I drop something in one book and I develop it a little bit more in a little. So I like to keep the readers guessing, and the characters, Emmeline and Gregory, guessing as well. So I do a little bit of both to hopefully to propel the story and keep the readers turning pages.
Well, and again, so when you're writing in a series like this, with now you're on, this is book 10, and do you sort of have a subtext that you want someone to get out of it when they read, or is the subtext built into your characters?
Well, I mean, I suppose the subtext is built into each character because it's like how the character reacts to the present situation based on, their past, because everyone has a past, everyone is shaped differently. So that they each bring that to the present situation. So how are the individuals going to react to the situation and then react to one another to resolve whatever the problem, the crime is in each book. So that's always spinning around in the back of my mind as I'm writing the story, as I'm developing the characters.
Yeah, it's a pretty interesting process. Are your characters right where you thought they would be, or did you have that in mind, like at book one? Did you kind of have a concept of, okay, I want these people to do this, do that, get to here and do all that? And if so, or even if not, are they kind of where you hope they would be?
To answer the question where I hope they would be, yes, based on everything they've been through so far. And to answer the previous question, from book one, I had the idea in mind how I wanted each one to develop in the subsequent books. So I had to have that, not only the basic narrative of the book I was currently working on, but in the plan, the long-term plan in terms of the series, how to get them to the point or to the reveal that I wanted later on. Because as I said, I have to leave a little something in each book. You say, oh, wait a minute, I remember that from book two. Oh, now we have the answer. Now it's being developed and the question has been answered. So it's a bit of both, because it is a series that each of us develop, because in a book, it has to mirror real life. Yes, you suspend a belief, but it has to mirror real life and how everyone evolves. Everyone changes. Nobody stays the same. I mean, your inherent character stays the same, but we all change because of the different situations we're put in or the people we meet. So that it has to mirror real life to be believable for readers, because they've made that connection, and to continue with that connection, to continue for readers to care.
Have you forgotten any connections? I mean, after 10 books, upwards of 11 coming up, have you go, oops, I forgot I did that?
No, not really. No. Perhaps maybe at one point, but no, I don't think so. Because either my mother is my first reader when I finish a book, then my sister, and like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense there. You said this, such and such. So I have their reminders. But no, I've never really come across that issue.
Mike's just trying to find out because he keeps on, doing the New Year's resolution. Yeah, New Year's resolution.
I get yelled at by my editor saying, you do realize you said this in your previous one. Oops.
Well, you see, that's because that's your support group. So you have someone reminding you of that if you slip up and forget. They're not just throwing you there into the ether and saying, washing their hands and saying, good luck.
Are there any disappointments in these characters? Things that you got that you didn't expect?
Well, it's disappointment. I think it was for readers in book 3 when Gregory betrayed Emmeline in that book, and we know the readers find out why he initially left her in the first, because when the first book starts, they hadn't seen each other in 2 years, and she literally runs into him. And so in book 3, the readers find out why that happened, and then there's a betrayal in that book. And then they make their way back to one another. So I think readers didn't like me in that book, and I think readers really didn't like me the way I ended the one just before this one, Betrayed by the Truth, which is how this one starts. The betrayer, they're like, "What did you do to Gregory?" But again, that's all for me. It's part of the fun, because I know readers want a happily ever after, but from the author's perspective, that's a dead end, because it's like the story is ended. What can you do? So lots and lots of trouble is the juicy bits is the juicy fodder for an author, for me at least.
There is no happily ever ending anyway. That's, it's crazy. But with all the jewels and the heist and the Debonair jewel thief and stuff like that, what is your research into that? Like how, I would imagine you have to kind of know a little bit about it rather than just throwing it out there.
Right. And the country too, right? Amsterdam, Russia.
Yes. Well, I mean, setting plays an important part in all of my books. And the settings in each of the books, I've been to these places. So because I like to give readers, make them feel like they're walking in my character's footsteps. So I can describe this canal or the park and so on. And I want them to feel like they're there, because a book is an escape not only for the readers, but for me as well. You know, you want to take you out of your daily life, you know, to have a little fun. So, in terms of that, I've been to Amsterdam, and I loved Amsterdam, and I wanted to describe that for my readers. I wanted to take them there. And as you may know, Amsterdam is a major diamond trading hub. So that was another perfect thing for me, with Gregory as a jewel thief. So that, yeah, I like to take them there. And in terms of that, I'm not, if you were asking, you know, if you wanted personal, I'm not a jewel thief, just to let you know. That's my secret. I'm letting you know now. So I don't have, you know, a personal knowledge of stealing jewels, but it's so exciting. I mean, you see articles about, you know, Sotheby's auction, or you see these articles in the paper about jewel heists, or based, like I said, the Golden Tulip in my book is, I modeled that on, I don't know, you may have heard or not, the famous Florentine diamond. It was a 9-sided, 126 facet, double rose yellow cut diamond, and it literally traveled around the world. It was taken into battle in 1467 by the Duke of Burgundy. It was subsequently lost. It was found, and it was stolen, you know, through different countries over the centuries. Who wouldn't want to write something about that? So my Golden Tulip is modeled on the Florentine diamond. So it's a bit of present day, it's a bit of history, and then a lot of me, and with my ideas for a story.
Well, you know, I know the truth behind this, and is that you were one of the Louvre thieves.
You let my secret out.
That you practiced in order to get the book written.
I did. I did.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I told them that the camera wasn't working at that window, so they could climb up there. How did you know that I was their source?
I could tell. The books are too good, right? They have to be from a real source. There has to be someone doing it, you know.
Yeah. His book 11 says the Louvre right at the very front cover. Next one.
See what caught you. Okay, so you can confess. Well,
okay, take me.
Cops
to jail
are on the
now.
line right now.
Yeah,
they're on the other line right now. They're gonna be knocking on the door any minute now. No, so that's great. So looking back at it, are you happy? Are you happy? Like, because I mean this when, for me, certain times I'll write a book and it's fine. Mm-hmm. But certain times you write it and it all comes together and you're excited. This is great. Like, you just know this all worked out. Do you have that feeling with each book, or is it something that just happens occasionally?
Yes. Well, the book that I was like, it was easy. Everything flowed from the start, was the book 5, When Blood Runs Cold. That one just worked from the beginning. Everything just flowed. This book is my longest book. And it took me longer than I usually do to write. And as I was writing, I was like, this is not working out. This part is, but you know, writers, we're all plagued by self-doubt. Then when I finally finished, I'm like, wow, this is not as bad as I thought. This is actually pretty good. But I'm very happy with the way this one turned out, and I hope readers are too. I mean, as authors, we shouldn't have favorites, but I think this one turned out really well, and I hope readers will feel the same. I hope taking longer than I normally would and having a few little glitches along the way, I think that I think might have made this the best book of the series, but you know, I leave that to readers.
Yeah, well, things happen always on the way, and I think that the world keeps people pretty busy, so if you're off a little bit of time, it's not going to be a big deal. I don't think they'll notice too much. Yeah. There's enough drama going on, so
Yes.
Where to now? Like, what do you do now? Are you you're continuing this, I guess?
Yes, because I love the characters. My readers, I get, they tell me, oh, what's going to happen with Emmeline and Gregory next? So I left a little cliffhanger as usual on the last page. So it's developing now in the next book. So I'm keeping it going. I mean, I'll keep going with Emmeline and Gregory until I can't think of any more trouble for them. And then maybe I'll start another series or a standalone. But for the moment, and to let readers know they're still going strong.
Oh, well, that's a good thing. If it's working, it's working. And so when you take the other side, when you're writing the evil people, the bad people, the enemies, so to speak, I should say, where do you take your characters from? Like, where do you feel them, or are they the same as your main characters that you like, Emmeline and Gregory, or do they interact with you the same way, or is there something different?
Well, for all of my villains, they have to be, ruthless, of course, but they have to be intelligent to pose a challenge for Emmeline and Gregory. Because if they were dumb, it would be boring for the readers. So even if they are ruthless, they have to be intelligent for Emmeline and Gregory to hunt for the answers. In this book, there's a Russian mafia boss, Bogdan Kozlov. Well, the Russian mafia makes it very easy for me. You're hearing things all the time in the news about Russian mafia. There's an underworld figure in there. And then there's a female character in there that I really despise. So it was very easy for me to write her because I really despised her. So it's a combination of different things. A lot of times my inspiration, it can come from, current events, or like I said before, a Sotheby's diamond auction, and that sparks an idea for a story. But in terms of the villains, it's quite easy. Like in this book, there's the Peregrine gang, and I modeled them. I don't know if you're familiar with this, with the Pink Panther gang. That's the Interpol named them the Pink Panther gang, and they've stolen nearly $1 billion. They've done a number of heists, 500 heists since 1999 in like Dubai, across Europe. So, that I modeled the Peregrine gang in my book on that. They play a certain role in my book. So it's a whole bunch of different things that come together to create my story.
Did you have any problems getting into that gang when you were first to her?
Again, I thought we were going to share secrets with the audience today.
Well, we're not.
The gang is they're all in hiding right now. So I really can't, I can't betray them. It wouldn't be fair. They told me a lot of things in confidence.
They're all hiding in Buffalo, I hear. But did you have
Bill's won, by the way?
Oh, boo. How about the dialogue in that? How do you work out dialogue with, let's say, your Russian or Amsterdam characters? Characters from other countries have other ways of saying things, different cultures, different ways of expressing themselves. Is that kind of a thing you have to work out, or do you just sort of slip by it and not really get into it?
Well, with the Dutch and with the Russians, I mean, it's in English there, and I pretty much do it straight, or it's lots of threats and so on. But, Emmeline and Gregory, they're British. So, I've been an Anglophile since I was yay high. So I've been steeped in the British, TV shows, and I've read books and so on. So that British dialogue comes easily for me, in terms of, the witticisms and Gregory's, because Gregory's always has a cat and mouse game with Superintendent Oliver Bernett of Scotland Yard. So their interactions, their verbal tussles, so that comes easily for me. In terms of the Russian and the Dutch, well, the Dutch, they speak English perfectly, so that's not a problem. So I can't put that flavor of their accent in the book, but the British colloquialisms and expressions, I can do that well. In terms of the Russians also, I mean, they pretty much all of them speak English perfectly. I mean, even even the Russian president right now, like he doesn't speak English in public, but as a former KGB, he speaks English fluently. So that's not a problem. I just have to put lots of threats from their points of view.
How violent do you get? How is this, like, when you consider it, let's say a 0 to 10, being 0 being cozy and 10 being a book that maybe Michael would write. How violent do you like? Is the reader going to get if they jump into the series?
Okay, well, it's not cozy, but I do have some shootings and stabbings and so on, but I don't describe the blood and the guts and things like that because I don't like reading things like that. For me, it's always been about the puzzle. Yes, you have a dead body, but how did we come to this point? The web of intrigue surrounding how this person came to be dead on the floor. That's my concern when I write the books. I mean, yes, I say, okay, the person was shot. There's blood on the shirt or whatever. There's a stab, but I don't describe what the wound looks like because I don't like reading that. I mean, certain people, they do, and that's fine, but that's not what I like to read and what I like to, that's not the story that I like to tell. It's about the crime itself and how we got to this stage.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I write murder and I stay away from anything that's not needed when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Because, let people that write that do it because they'll do it well. But I don't get into that. Wow, this is crazy. So are you doing any other sort of writing on the other side of this? Like while these books, or is this your only thing that you work on year to year?
Yeah, no, this is what, because it's like, I don't like to spread myself because then this particular book or whatever book I'm working on at the moment, it won't come out right if I start writing something else. Of course, when each book comes out, I do guest blog posts and things like that. But it's not like I'm writing another book or another series. I have fellow author friends who write 2 series at once and 2 different series in 2 different eras, and I applaud them. I really admire that, but I like to focus on one thing at a time so that I can do a really good job. And that's for my readers as well, because I want it to come out well for them.
Right. Yeah, it's probably better that way. I mean, gives you more opportunity, to do it. Okay, so this is great. Where do people find Daniella? Do you do a website? Do you have social media, a bar you hang out in? Like where do they go? Where do people go?
Yes, I do have a website. It's where do they go? DanielaBernett.com. People can also find me on Facebook. I'm on Goodreads as well. And, there's an email address on my website. I always like to hear from readers if you want to leave me a little note. I will be doing a reading and books. For those of you in New York, I will be doing a reading and book signing at the Mysterious Bookshop in Manhattan on January 13th. So if you want to come out, I'd love to see you in person. So that's it. And of course, wonderful places like this where I can come and chat with the 2 of you.
Well, there you go. See, now I would go to the Mysterious Bookshop, but I don't know where it is. It's mysterious.
It's a secret.
Oh,
That's
it's a secret.
You wanted secrets. You'll find lots of secrets there.
Yeah. See, it's nothing but it's a place you go, you might never return. So.
That's a risk. We all have to take risks in life. Life would be very dull if we didn't take risks.
Yeah. Well, I think I'll take a couple of weeks off first, but I'm just saying.
To plan your risks.
Yeah, I want to plan my risks and send Mike. Well, anyway.
I'm here. I'm ready to go.
You're ready to go. He'll do anything, really. I'm serious. And get him going. Well, we appreciate you being here.
Well,
and
thank
we've
you
been
very
talking about your book, Secrets Lie in Wait. And it's book 10. And it's an Emmeline Kirby and Gregory Longdon mystery. So, Daniella Bernett, thank you for being here.
Well, thank you very much. It's always fun chatting with the 2 of you.
I love it, Danielle.
This has been a production of the House of Mystery Radio Show. To find out more about our show, guests, or hosts, go to our website at houseofmysteryradio.com.